Oh man, I really wasn't gonna make a video on this. No, really, I was teetering a bit whether or not this was an apt topic for me to get back on. But hey, I saw something that really pissed me off, and I decided, yeah, maybe I should talk about this. Hello everyone, it's me Goose. How you doing? Sorry for the wait. I've been in a bit of a rut lately, but this shit yeeted my ass out of bed and forced me to make a video. All right, let's not beat around the bush. Let's talk about groomers. Again, specifically why they shouldn't in any way, shape, or form come back to their original platform. I had a similar video on this topic before, mainly about why groomers shouldn't apologize. Long story short, it's because they're always 100% disingenuous. Look, if you make an apology to the public about how sorry you are for an atrocity you committed to somebody, chances are you're more interested in gaining public trust than you are in seeking forgiveness. And it is exactly what each and every one of these groomers did. Notice in particular Ryan Haywood's apology, someone I actually didn't mention in my initial grooming video because he was only outed, I shit you not, just a few days after my video came out. And unfortunately, I was busy working on Traumathon at the time, all throughout October, so I had no room in my schedule to talk about any sort of scandal. But if you're unaware, let me briefly explain what happened just because he's one of our main topics today. Ryan Haywood worked for Rooster Teeth, mainly for their gaming division, Achievement Hunter. He'd been active for about 8 years, I believe, chilling, playing games, laughing, molesting, making skits, voice acting here and there, the usual entertainment business stuff, etc., etc. Well, victims of his little shenanigans came out to finally declare the things that he had done wrong to them. And it wasn't just one victim, but multiple, some of which were underage, and just by this one woman's experience, it seemed very manipulative. Essentially stating that he didn't get enough sex at home, so he needed a release somehow, and she offered her own body because she was such a big fan, and because she loved Ryan so much. It's honestly a very heartbreaking and gut-wrenching video to listen to, and at times it's really hard to get through it all. But needless to say, Ryan, and any other fucking groomer that was caught doing these salacious activities, deserve every bit of hate and backlash that they've acquired. Now, of course, there's also the Adam Kovic thing. I don't care. He did the same shit, but I think not with underage women. Some people have said yes, but there's no real solid proof that he sexted a minor, but he's also a scumbag, but not to the degree of grooming and pedophilia possibly as Ryan Haywood. Now, obviously, when this sort of shit happens, there's no recovering from this. At least there shouldn't be. Listen, these kinds of incidents aren't the result of good people gone the wrong path. This isn't a case of someone abusing drugs because of underlying mental health problems. This is an issue caused by the imbalance of power people sometimes obtain. You give some people a big enough audience and they'll suddenly think they're a rock star, invulnerable to judgment, high up top, flocks of fans that'll tell them everything that they ever want to hear at their every whim, free coochie and pee-pee for an eternity. Except it doesn't work that way, and they have to face severe consequences for their abhorrent actions. Being demonized and essentially blacklisted online is a start, but really, some of these people are teetering on straight up criminal charges. I'm surprised nothing's happened yet with anyone notable, I think. But hey, as long as everyone knows who they are and they don't come back to the platform that made them who they are, then that is a pretty good start. But it's not, is it? No, because of course not. Because people just can't take an L nowadays, huh? Yeah, Ryan Haywood has announced that he'll be back, after giving a rather lengthy explanation post to his Twitch sub members. And yes, I said an update post, and because it's not an actual apology post, because Ryan doesn't actually apologize for anything. Hell, he doesn't even mention the grooming. He just mentions in his update post that he's getting better help and that he's got a new job and that he's doing better. Do you understand why I'm giving a heavy emphasis on the word he? It's because this is exactly how a manipulator works. They don't mention the horrible things, they don't take responsibility for what they've done, and they assure everyone that they're becoming a better person. And maybe for the idiots out there, maybe that's enough for a comeback. And you know something? Unfortunately, it works. This self-centered update post has some people convinced that Ryan, after having 3 psychiatrists and psychologists or whatever anal probe his mind, after all that time he's been gone, a total of 4 months by the way, that's just enough time for him to recover and to be forgiven. No. Not at fucking all. First of all, this goes back to what I said. These kinds of updates or apologies are meant as a way to steer the public in their favor, not for any sort of closure nor genuine apologies. It's meant to convince you that these people have changed and everything's dandy now and blah 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 blah. I'm getting therapy, it's wonderful, I'm getting back on my life. Oh man, tiptoes over the rainbow. I'm feeling so much better, guys. I learned the lesson, I've returned back to Jesus, I've returned in his arms. Oh Lord, I am back. Hallelujah. I'm saved. Yes, I know I slept with half a dozen underage girls and cheated on my wife and betrayed my family and my children, but hey man, hey, 4 months can change your brother. Just give me another chance, fellas. Listen, I know this is really hard for a lot of Ryan's fans to believe because I know larger fan bases often harbor the most idiotic people just out of sheer numbers alone, but Ryan is not well. Ryan has to be held accountable for his actions, and getting fired from his job is only the start. I know most of you will give me the whole, hey, he's trying to move on and he's trying to get away from his horrible past and live his life and all that stuff. Yeah, he's trying to do that. He's trying to get past all that horrible shit. Yeah, he's doing that. Tell that to the fucking victims. Ryan moving on is a selfish thing because his victims can never move on. I don't even know if he's even apologized to them. I mean, he doesn't even mention why he's been gone in the first place. And that's intentional because he wants to downplay it. This is the sort of update post a recovering alcoholic would make after having a horrible drunken meltdown, except they would even acknowledge their mistakes, because I know recovering alcoholics that would take responsibility for their past mistakes and willingly admit openly that they're wrong and what they did was wrong. Because guess what? Those motherfuckers have a fucking backbone. He couldn't even tell you why he's seeking therapy because he's a fucking coward. And listen, I'm all for people recovering and changing themselves for the better, and I don't want to sound sadistic and make it seem like Ryan can't live his life. But before he can, he needs to properly recover from this and seek forgiveness, if possible, from the people he wronged, or compensate them for the bullshit that they had to endure for him. And you certainly don't begin your road to a better life by coming back to the thing that made you this heaping pile of shit that you so happily, for some reason, want to dive back into. I don't know why. Ryan being on Twitch isn't just a danger to him, as it could lead him to finding other ways to manipulate his fans, or vice versa, his fans to manipulate him and convince him he's a better man than he really is, being showered by compliments and slowly increasing his ego, therefore essentially erasing whatever progress he has with his psychologists or whatever he's seeing. But it's also a danger to anyone watching him, as he could potentially relapse and find more underage poo-tang to get back on. Thank God Twitch already banned his sick dumb fuck of a channel. And I haven't even begun to talk about Cosmo Door, the guy who pissed me off so much that I had to make this video. Cosmo Door, and to summarize quickly, he stalked an underage girl, manipulated her into feeling something for him, aka grooming. Listen, Daft Peanut made a video on it, just watch that, it's great, link is in the description. Oh, and while you're at it, please watch Bernie Vid's video on John Bob. Oh my god, what a wonderful content creator, absolutely deserves a ton of subs. Check him out, he's a wonderful video, love him. Anyways, long story short, Cosmo Door's a creep. That's all you need to know. So, acknowledging that, Cosmo Door apologized for his actions after his victim came out with info on his gross fucking behavior, and he apologized, I think like 3 times? I'm not sure if I'm right about that. I want to say he apologized like 5 times, maybe even more, but the dude made an apology video addressing his actions just recently, like last month, and he's trying to be as genuine as possible while not totally doing a very good job at it, as he really makes himself out to be creepier than what people thought.
I tried to justify it in my own head many times, refusing to acknowledge that there may be something wrong with the relationship between a then 19 and this 15-year-old. Because at that point I had already fallen for this person and tried really hard to be with them. I would go days without going online to somehow get them to notice me. I would ask around their friends if they felt about me the same way, and it worked. We started dating.
I mean, seriously, he's flat out admitting to be dating a minor, and yes, I've heard some people defend him because he's from a different country, and in his country it's okay to date 14-year-olds, but you know, this is America. Yeah, and we have our own laws that needs to be understood before jumping the shark. Plus, what he did is no less illegal, especially not since he wanted to meet up with this girl in America, and I've heard some sources that he actually did meet up with this girl. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. But what I do know for sure was that he was dating someone underage at the time while also seeing someone of his age, his ex-girlfriend, and he knew very well that most of what he was doing was completely illegal, but fuck it, he did it anyways, and this is the sort of shit I'm talking about. These sorts of people, aka groomers, or terrible people as Cosmo Door wants to be known as.
I am not a child groomer, but I am a terrible person for the way I treated both of these people.
Whatever, groomer, I don't care. Aren't people who do this by mistake. You don't accidentally get into a relationship with a minor. You don't accidentally send them porn. You do these things conscientiously, knowing fully well that they're illegal, and fuck, man, like, god damn, Cosmo Door just sounds so delusional. Basically, he's making it seem like just because the victim was the one for him, that he should have dated her because she was so amazing.
I met this person online who was unlike anyone I've ever met before. They spoke their mind like no one I knew in real life. They had amazing talents that I knew would get them far in life. They had a great sense of humor. The only problem was they were underage.
Because she was so amazing, so wonderful, so talented. Oh, he's so enamored by, she's just so amazing, man. I knew she was underage. And you know, like, looking back, I'm going off script, by the way. I'm just thinking back to the video I watched. Going back to that video, the dude made it seem like it was a 90s rom-com. This summer, Cosmo Door found the girl of his dreams.
They spoke their mind like no one I knew in real life. They had amazing talents that I knew would get them far in life.
The only problem, she's underage. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag, baby. Yeah, I'm just a It's so stupid. It's pathetic. And even if Cosmo Door genuinely 100% means everything that he says, and I know that he probably does because he commented on my video about groomers, which included him, and he said, yeah, you're absolutely right, groomers shouldn't apologize. Then motherfucker, why did you apologize 4 months later? You know exactly what I said. Apologies aren't meant for us, they're meant for the victims. So why are you doing this? Oh, I'll tell you why, because you want to get back on the YouTube money train, don't you? You have to still be responsible for your actions. People will forever recognize Cosmo Door as the child groomer that he was and possibly could still be. There is no changing that. And hopping back on this platform isn't gonna erase people's memories, nor will it have people forgive you automatically, nor will anything like this change. Doing this video doesn't mean that you're taking responsibility. We already know that you admitted to doing all this stuff. You've explained it a few times before. The fact that you actually want to come back on YouTube as if nothing happened and just move on with your life, that's not taking responsibility. You've taken at least 5 months to quote-unquote recover and do all this stuff that you're doing, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can just come back as if it didn't happen, or like making the silly little apology post wipes away the things that you did before. You see why this shit gets me mad? This shit is like clockwork, man. It's so predictable what these terrible people will do. They'll always repeat the same pattern, and you've seen it. I guarantee you've seen it. Dozens of people were called out for grooming this past summer alone, and a few more notable people were brought to light afterwards, and it's always the same shit. They apologize, they say they'll get better, they ghost their audience for like about a few weeks or months, and they give us the full story. Ooh, then they come back as if nothing fucking happened, only to disappear again when they realize that not everyone is a goddamn idiot like they thought we were. Now, there are genuine cases of people apologizing or clearing the air and making themselves out to be actually innocent, but those are incredibly rare. They are the exception. Yes, we all know about Pro Jared's situation. I even apologized to him. I know all that stuff, and when that evidence comes out, then yes, we can get back on his side and we can start to trust him, if not for just a little bit, but we know that he wasn't totally in the wrong. In this case, with Cosmo Door's situation, with Ryan's situation, we all know they're fucking guilty. They admit it. I mean, Cosmo Door at least admitted it. I don't know about Ryan. He probably never wants to admit it, but he did it. There's a pile of evidence of it. Rooster Teeth has way more evidence, apparently. It's probably a lot more than we don't know. But let's face it, they're not sorry that they did this. They're sorry that they were caught. And I guarantee you, like a child getting punished for staying up too late, groomers won't easily learn their lesson. They'll just get better at hiding this shit. It is dangerous for them to return to the same platform that gave them access to this shit in the first place. I don't care if you're some lonely 20-year-old living by yourself doing nothing but watching cartoons all day. Cry me a goddamn river. You don't manipulate kids, especially not so that you could get your dick wet, you sick fuck. Grow up. You're not a child anymore. You're a grown-ass man, and you're not fooling anyone. Take responsibility. You too, Ryan. You're a middle-aged fucking man. Go to jail. If you guys want to live your lives and move on, whatever. That's on you. I'm not saying you can't live your life, but you can't live it online. Get off the internet. You messed up your chance already. And don't come back. You fucked up. Sorry. But you really can't expect to just come back as if it didn't happen. Even after all the recovery you've done, that doesn't mean people will so easily forgive or forget what you've done. And again, you are still a present danger. 4 months of therapy cannot fix your lifetime of fuck-ups. Someone doesn't go to therapy for years to recover from their alcoholism or their drug addiction or any of that sort of stuff and then say, hey, I'm cured, I'm better. Better get back on that alcohol and drugs. Gulp. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. Well, that was pretty cathartic. Anyways, thanks for watching, I guess. I hope you liked whatever the hell this was. Listen, I'm passionate about this stuff because frankly, as much as I really don't like kids, like at all, frankly, I hate them. I truly do not think they deserve to live in a world of danger, full of greedy and horny old people trying to make them feel insecure and unsafe and like they're worth nothing. It's not fair for them. Kids don't deserve half the shit we stupid adults give them, or the way we've treated them, or the world we're gonna hand off to them. They don't deserve any of that, and I want to make sure that for some of you, I know some of you are underage and probably facing the same thing as other victims are, I want you to know that you can get through this. You deserve a happy life. You are worth having friends, and you deserve to live the life that you want to live. You'll get out of whatever situation you're in. Whatever is keeping you down, I promise you're gonna be okay. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Love you all so much. Good night.